Hi everybody, welcome back to CCG's Kitchen. Today we're going to be showing you how to make kick the can ice cream. Doesn't that sound like fun?
Oh yeah.
That'll be a great time. Well, my name is Pete.
And I'm Sean.
And before we begin though, before we do anything else and start getting into actually making the ice cream, very first thing, you'll need to find an adult.
All right, for this you'll need some assorted kitchen utensils. You'll need your bottles or your cans that you'll be using for mixing.
Very durable.
Very durable. Very durable containers. You also need some salt, some vanilla, some sugar, and some heavy whipping cream. All right, so earlier we mentioned the containers you want to use. You want one large container and another container that's actually going to fit inside like so. Containers we have lying around the kitchen actually screw shut, which is nice. So what you'll end up doing is put the smaller container inside the bigger container with all your ice and whatnot. We'll get to that later. And then you'll actually screw it shut like this. If you don't have these lying around, this is an old olive container. You can use whatever you have lying around, coffee bin, things like that. Plastic bags you can use for the middle part, that's perfectly fine. Just make sure they're very durable. Maybe put it in 2 or 3 bags so it doesn't get broken or anything like that. All right, so we're gonna start our ingredients here in just a second, mixing them up. But before we do, as always, we gotta glove up. All right, fantastic. So we'll go ahead and start mixing our ingredients. The first ingredient we're gonna put in is
2 cups heavy whipping cream.
yes. All right. So we got a mixing bowl here, and we'll just pour that in there.
That's really well done, Sean.
Thank you, thank you. I practiced a lot.
It's important.
Yeah. Well, make it look like we're professionals. So, all right. Now we actually doubled our recipe a little bit because there's 2 of us. So, and I like ice cream. All right. Our next ingredients.
2/3 cup sugar.
All right. So we have our 2/3 cup right here, and our gigantic bag of sugar. Some sugar. Level it off. Fantastic. Put that in there. All right, our next ingredient is going to be a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Again, we doubled our ingredients here. So keep that in mind when making it yourself if you want a smaller ingredient. So this is a ½ teaspoon here. So I'm going to do this twice. 1, 2, oh, perfect.
Amazing.
I know I am. All right. All right, now we've got all of our ingredients in there. We're just gonna mix them up really well. Get that vanilla mixed in well. With this, you can put vanilla in there if you want to. You can also add some additional flavorings if you want. Put in some chocolate syrup, maybe some cocoa powder, maybe some cherry or strawberry juice or something like that, just to kind of flavor it up a little bit more than just vanilla. So pretty much all you do is, like I said, this is a small amount of ingredients, you mix it up, and it's pretty much just a piece of cake.
Sean, this is ice cream.
Oh. Well, okay, hey. That's fine too. All right, fantastic. Next, we're going to pour it into our containers. All right, now that we have everything mixed up thoroughly, we're going to put our ingredients into the smaller container. With this, obviously make sure your container is cleaned out very well. Let it dry out so it doesn't have any water lying in there or anything like that. With your container, if it doesn't have a lid that screws on tightly, you can have a lid that just sits on there however you want to, but if it doesn't screw on tightly, it's not going to stay on when you move it around. You probably want to tape it down with some masking tape, duct tape, something like that, something that's not going to allow the lid to come off there. So, all right, we'll go ahead and pour our ingredients in. All right.
That's really well done, Sean.
Yeah, well, I YouTubed it this morning. So.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. All right, now sometimes what you get, obviously, when you're mixing is the ingredients don't all go in there. You can see all that sugar just kind of hanging out in there. So you want to scrape that.
Yeah, we don't want to leave that behind.
Yeah, scrape that in there. Ooh, as best you can. Try not to make too much of a mess. You make a mess, you clean it up. All right. Very good. So, let the funnel drip in there all the way. Put our lid on tightly, and you give a little shake right there if you want, just kind of get it all mixed up properly. All right, now you're going to take your smaller container that you put your ingredients in, put it inside your bigger container, like so. What you'll do then is you'll take a layer of crushed ice, place it around the outside of the smaller one, inside the bigger one obviously. You want to have with your containers at least a ½ an inch, if not an inch, distance on the inside between the two containers. That way the ice can actually get down in there. So crushed ice, put a layer of crushed ice in there, then put a layer of salt in there. Just regular table salt's fine. Another layer of crushed ice, more salt, another layer of crushed ice, more salt, another layer of crushed ice, more salt. Keep doing that until it gets up to the top of your container here. Make sure though that you can actually shut your container, your big container, that you don't have too much ice in there. Again, make sure that is clamped down nice and tight. We're gonna put our ice here in a second. It's still in the freezer. We'll go and grab it. But you can hear it in there moving around. What's gonna happen is with this, you have your ice in there, you have your salt in there, that super cools it. And what you're gonna do is you go outside and kick the can, kick the bottle, play some soccer, throw it around. Don't break anything. But do whatever you wanna do. Keep it moving. You don't want it to sit, because if it sits for too long, the ice cream kind of just solidifies in one place. So you want to keep it moving the whole time while you have all your ice cream in there mixing around.
All right, so we've been moving this around quite a bit, and we're just about ready to open it up. But before I do, you might be asking yourself, why did they put salt in with the ice? I'm so glad you asked that question. The reason is the salt lowers the melting point of water. So it actually allows the water to become a liquid and be super cooled at the same time. It's the same reason they use salt on the roads during the winter. It actually lowers that melting point so that the ice turns back into water and flows off the roads. So we're gonna open this up. See what we got in here. Ooh. Oh, that's looking very nice. So you can tell that it has congealed quite a bit. So we'll open this up as well. Oh yeah, that came out real nice. Let's grab a bowl here. We'll just kind of dump. So you see, it's kind of a milkshake consistency, which is fine. If you wanted to kick it around longer, you could get it to solidify a bit more. But for today, I kind of prefer the milkshake consistency. So here we go. That is just fantastic. You know what this would go really well with is that apple crisp that we made. Shameless plug. But thanks so much for joining us on Adventures with Sean and Pete. We'll see you next time.